Okay, hello and welcome. I'm really hoping everything is fine. Twitch has been a little bit unresponsive today, let's say. So I'm really hoping everything is fine now. Yeah, it looks like I'm up now, but that was weird. Like I went offline, online and offline multiple times. Not quite sure what's happening there, but anyway. So, this is my second day of learning JavaScript. So, or to be more specific, TypeScript, I guess that's more precise statement. And yeah, so I did manage to go almost through the entire handbook for TypeScript. And the last thing I did was classes. So the two things for today are enums and generics. And then I kind of feel like I will have a peek at like tutorials and things to kind of get something more hands-on, because this is very much just like, you know, learning about the language and trying some examples, nothing super fancy. And you know, to kind of learn any language, you really need to actually write some code. Like that's really the only way. So after I go through the enums and generics, we will see what's next. I might try coding some small piece of, like a small project, like a small, I don't know, probably not the game, but you know, something fun and small. But yeah, that's coming after I'm done with this handbook. So let's go into the enums for now. And these two things should be hopefully reasonably short. Okay, let's just arrange my windows in the correct order. I should have everything running that I need. Okay. And I feel like my camera is zoomed out for whatever reason, so let me just try to fix that a bit. Oops, that's a bit much. Yeah, okay, that's slightly better. Okay. Okay, so numeric enums were already mentioned. So it's the typical enum, it gets automatically numbered from 0. If you don't want to number from 0, then just, you know, set the values and then it gets auto numbered. Each of these enum members are actually numbers. Even though it says type enum member, you can actually work with it as a number, which is great. Then yeah, so here this just manually set. Yep. This all and enums without initials, there is a need to be first. I've got okay, this is interesting. Okay, so if you don't want to use a constant, I guess those need to come last. Okay, where's my Visual Studio? Okay. So, oh, I don't really need this anymore. So let's just try that. So if I have enum x, and I guess I would have const v1. So if I do this, and then I have 2, okay, so that's an error. Right. Because at that point I need to have an explicit initializer. Right. But if I just do if I just do one and this one, now it's okay. Yeah, now because it gets auto-numbered. Okay, so if I don't use literals, I'm kind of limiting myself in what features the enum provides. Okay, sure. But it's actually nice that you can even use functions like compute it. Like, this is something I haven't really seen. I'm trying to think if I have ever seen this in other language. Because enums usually tend to be treated like constants, so it's like you can definitely do this in modern C++ with const explorer and const eval, but other than that, I mean, I'm assuming like this can be like completely dynamic, right? Like, I think, okay, let's just try this. One thing I haven't tried at all so far is like reading input. How the heck do you read input? Alright, let's just actually search for Typescript. Read input. You can use the read line. Yeah, okay, it was probably bad search there, right? So let's do, I guess, node.js, read std in. Okay, so everyone is recommended read line. Sure. Right. And of course I don't remember how you do that. I did this in my previous project. So node.js import. Right, I will have package.json. Right. So I want package.json. Okay, so these are exports. I don't really care about the exports for now. Right, okay, so this was... Okay, sure. I need to have a name for my thing. That's fine. And sure, this is that version. I don't really want to do... Oh, so you can just run npm init. Okay. Let's see what that does. Okay, so it generated a bunch of stuff. Oh, it's even taking stuff out of the README. Interesting. But it wants to have an index.js. What happens if I do hello.ts over here? Will that work? There was run build task. No, so this just runs the so this just runs the TypeScript compiler. Okay. Yeah, I will need to kind of figure out how these two things interact. So node.js TypeScript. Okay. Scripts. Sure. Under scripts, okay. Yeah, okay, these are wrong quotes. MP, what the heck is npx? Npx. Execute npm package binaries. Oh, okay. Sure. Wait, do I actually have it? npx? Yes, I do. Cool. So npx tsc init. Sure. Let's try this. Oh, it's complaining that I already have a ts config. Sure. Install Express. I don't really care about Express, honestly. So if I understand this correctly, no, it's not doing it. So I thought this would just run my package. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. Okay. Okay, this will be interesting because I'm actually not quite sure. Wait, I already have a scripts section over here. Yeah, totally missed that. So, there is definitely some stuff I'm kind of missing. So, Okay, one thing I know that there's a bunch of ways to import stuff. I'm actually not sure which one is preferred. Yeah, because this one is doing import star as readline from readline, and this is doing var readline, require readline. Okay, so I will just use what they recommend. So sure, let's do that. npm okay. Did this update? It did. Okay, cool. So then I want to install readline, right? Yep. So I have readline over here. And how the heck did I use this again? Create the interface, and then you do question. Okay, I guess this will be. Oh, why did I close it? Readline question. Okay, it's a string query and a callback. That's that's not quite what I want, but I'm getting the feeling that this will actually be kind of tricky to get what I want. I was hoping for basically a blocking function, but yeah, I'm just realizing that that's not really JavaScript style. Like, you don't really have blocking stuff. Everything is kind of based on callbacks. Yeah. So is there a way to make this work? I basically wanted to see if I can initialize an enum with an input from a user. But I'm realizing this is a little bit too complicated. I'm sure there's a way. But okay. Let's put this into the notes, because this is it's definitely a thing I want to kind of see if that would work. But I'm getting the feeling that, yeah, this is not really within my current abilities right now and my knowledge of JavaScript. So question is it possible to initialize an enum, what do they call them? Enum member using an input from the user / any dynamic input. Yeah, because in pretty much all other languages this is possible, but it very strictly needs to be compile time. Okay. Oh, interesting. String enums. So this is quite interesting, like, because why would you use a string enum? Because I mean this still works, so like console log x at 0 should return 1. No, actually, oh, that's actually a good point. I actually don't know which one of these it will return. Yeah, let's just try and see. Control F5. Undefined. Oh, okay, so it's really based on the ordering. Okay, sure. So literally it's, you know, x.1, x.2 basically returns the string representation. So like if this returns the string representation, why would you use a string enum? I'm sure there's a reason. Deserialize well. I mean, okay, I kind of get the point. Yeah, because like normal enums end up being just numbers, right? So then if you have like an array of the enum, and you just look at it in the debugger, well, for the normal enum to get the string values, you would have to like create a watch to basically see, okay, like what's the reverse mapping to the string. With the string enum, you don't have to because it's a string. So, okay, no, that's a fair point, sure. Yeah, okay, sure. Okay, we can have heterogeneous ones. It's a good point. I have no idea why anyone would want to do this. Computed and constant members. Okay, so they are actually going into it over here. Okay, yeah, this is pretty normal. You start counting on 0 and then every next member is just 1, like increment by 1 from the previous one. Okay, so you can have compile time constant expressions. Okay, sure. Okay, so you pretty much can have a constant expression if you want to have it dealt with by TypeScript during compile time. And if it evaluates to none or infinity, you get an error. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is quite interesting. So if there's no calculation involved, as in everything is literal, or everything is just auto-computed from 0, the member becomes a type? Ah, because then you, okay. Okay, it's for these tagging situations. Cool. Okay. Yeah, this is quite interesting. So this is something I looked at yesterday, where you basically can have multiple interfaces and then just basically tag by the type. Cool. Oh, this I don't like, definitely. So this, damn it. So this becomes an object, and all of these are properties of this object. So then, if you basically require that you have an object that has an x that is a number, this satisfies that. Yeah, I really don't like that, but I guess that's JavaScript. Interesting. I want to see this example. So actually I haven't really encountered this one. So what is key of? That expects property names as parameters, but so far it has to express the type relationship that occurs in those APIs. Okay, I'm not quite sure if I get it. So key of person is its members, sure. If you do key of an array, then you just get the members of an array. Sure. Okay, what the heck is this syntax? I'm actually not quite sure what this is. So person name is a string, sure. Person name or age. Get property x full. Okay, s stands key of t. Object key. Okay, so key of t ends up just being all the members of t, and then because k extends key of t, it's a superset of that. I guess you need to write extends here, but I mean technically this can be I think what's actually like meant here is that this is k is key of t, but maybe I'm missing something. So then we have an object of type t and a key of type k, which is basically one of the member types. Sure. So then this gets interpreted as no, not member types. Okay, I think I'm getting way too deep into this. This is a little bit too advanced for now. I think I need to kind of... I think I will run into this in the generic code, but... yeah, okay, let's just... I can live with this for now. Let's just put it down into my notes. Slash, what does it do? Right, okay. And yeah, we will kind of get there eventually. Reverse mapping. Okay, yeah, we already tested this. That's fine. Yeah, okay, and this actually does compile into a lot of code. Sure. Const enums. Okay, this is interesting. So this usually means that these just disappear during compilation, which is intriguing. I'm not quite sure how you would then debug it, but sure. Okay, this I don't get at all. Like, why would you declare an enum? Yeah, it's a bit weird. Yeah, okay. So very much like C++ templates, okay. You just templatize by a thing, and then you can use that thing in the expression in the code. And we also have the same deduction as in C++, sure. Okay. Okay, right. So this is basically talking about like if you have the generic T, it is kind of any in this context. Like it's strongly typed, but you don't know what the type is, so you cannot just do arg.length. Sure. You can kind of work around over that just by instead having an array over here, which sure, that works, or an array like this, sure. Yeah, okay, the types are the same. And the names of variables don't matter. And this is the weird part I ran into yesterday. It is that you can basically assign functions to an object that has a function. So it's kind of like if I would have a functor in C++, like function object in C++, I could basically assign a function to it and it would be okay, which is pretty strange, but yeah. Yeah, I think I already have it in my notes that I want to kind of look at it a bit more. Where was it? Yeah, it was with this function as counter. Yeah. It's a very peculiar thing. I think it's like a very JavaScript specific thing. From the previous example, I move it to an interface. So okay, so we have an interface that has a generic function. Okay. Sure. That okay. Yeah. Okay. And now the interface is generic. Sure. Oh, this is actually interesting. So, okay, so here are assigning the generic function to a specific interface. I mean, to an object that has a specific interface. Interesting. Okay, generate classes. Yeah, okay, this is very much what you would expect from generics. Again, templatize on a type, then you can just use the type. And yeah, we can just create concrete instances. Makes perfect sense. Yeah, okay. Okay, generic constants. Okay, so this is really kind of going into the area of damn it, I lost the word again. Damn it. C++ 20. Concepts, right? So C++ 20 concepts, where you basically, yeah, so here you basically say, I accept these, but only those that satisfy this interface. Cool, okay. Yeah, so it doesn't work on a number. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we are at the key of, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just the key of just returns just returns, was it here, up here, yes. Yeah, so basically returns the list of the types that it can be. And then the extends basically creates, basically accepts anything that's that or more. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right, okay. Okay, so this is a slight departure from C++ because if I get it correctly, here we are literally inferring on the return type, which is something that you cannot do in C++. basically we accept something that has a constructor. Right, so yes, so C has to have a constructor. That's what this type specification here says. And then this, basically whatever the constructor returns becomes the T. Yeah, this is quite interesting. Like this is very, like this is something you cannot at all do in C++. Interesting. And okay, we are actually done with the run through the TypeScript. Okay, so I definitely have a lot of questions, but for the most part, this is pretty familiar. There are some pretty weird things that where like the JavaScript kind of pops out through the TypeScript, and then you get these weird like dynamic things. And there's definitely some surprising stuff, like in the generics, like that you can do the deduction by return is something that I would definitely need to get used to, because this is like an absolute impossibility in C++. You just like straight up cannot do it. Like you would have to basically, let's just copy this, right? So if this was if this was C++, you would have to do something like this, because C++ wouldn't be able to deduce that this is a, you know, this has a method. I mean, so this has a constructor that returns a lion, so lion is the type. That's just not something that C++ would do. Okay, so let's have a look what more is available here, because I mean honestly this documentation is so far pretty good. So okay, the reference the reference is something I definitely want to is there a way to bookmark this? Probably not. Okay, I will definitely want to use this as a reference at some point. Tutorials. Using paper. Yeah, probably none of that is interesting for me. Project configuration. Okay, I think I'm done with this part. So yeah, so that was the handbook. This is the handbook reference. I can definitely bookmark this page. Okay. Okay, I mean, let's put that to the side. So, okay, let's see. Okay, one thing I would really like to figure out, is there no test specified, right? Okay, so there's a run script. So it'll be npm run script tsc. So this would run the compiler, I guess, right? Okay. So this seems to work, right? I mean, okay, let's just double check that. So let's get rid of these files and let's just rerun this. I should recreate the build directory. Yep, okay. So this does indeed work. So I guess what I can do is over here. I can just do like a main and, well, now the question is, what do I write here? I don't think this will work. I mean, this is kind of something what I want, like I just want to run this file, but I expect that's not really how it works. Yeah. Run test. Yeah, okay, so that's definitely something. Okay, let's do how does testing work? How do I create a self-contained runnable binary? It's not really binary, right? Like it's still a script, but I basically want to have an executable. Okay. Okay, I will take a very short break and then we will look into this. Basically with this, then I really want to start trying some mini projects and see how it works. Cool, see you in a couple of minutes. Okay, and I'm back. So, how does testing work? That was my first question. Okay, unit test JavaScript and TypeScript. Okay. Okay. So there's a couple of frameworks. Sure. Okay. Okay, so we would. Okay, sure. So, oops. This created a file, not. Okay, I want a directory. Right. So source and test. Oops. No, that's not what I want. And it also should be tests. Okay. What the heck? Okay, so I have source and tests. I guess I should move the hello into source. Yeah, I think this is busted. Setting this package corresponding types. You need to specify scripts for test in package.json. Okay. Okay, and there's the launch.json. Sure. Okay. Well, I guess let's look at the sample tests, how they look. Yeah, they kind of look the same. Yeah, okay, fine. Then I guess let's just go with the simplest one. That was this thing. Sure, let's just do that over here. Oops, no. What the heck happened? Something went completely wrong. Wait, what? Oh, because there's an extra comma, sure. Silly things. Okay. I guess that's in. So then these two scripts, test and coverage, sure. Visual Studio Code debug. Okay, where exactly is that going? branch. Under the debug section. Oh, does it just go here? Okay. So then, if I'm over here, I should get oh, that's actually only for the tests, right? Okay, so let's just copy this thing. Yeah, I'm probably missing some stuff. And I still don't have the calculator to actually test it, right? So I cannot find expect. Ah, right. Okay. Let's just quickly write this over here. So calculator that has okay. Right. Okay, I think that works. No. Okay, let's go back to the handbook classes. No, this is definitely how it works. Interesting. Oh, is it because I don't have an object? So wait a second, can I do this? Yes. Okay, cool. Now it makes sense. So yeah, the problem was that this is just referring to the type. I don't have an object yet, so this method needs to be static. Now I'm getting the feeling that this is not really request launch. Yeah, I think there's a problem that this is kind of colliding, I guess. Okay, let's go back to here. By going to the debug menu. Okay, so okay, this run completely different file. This run the hello TS. Which, to be fair, based on what it executed, actually makes perfect sense. But okay, let's look for specific Visual Studio Code tests node.js. Testing extensions. Okay, I guess we added the where was it? Package.json. Run npm run test. It's probably no test files found under tests. Oh, it should be .test.ts. Okay. Example.test.ts, sure. Okay, still some issues. Cannot find module expect. Well, yeah, the problem is I don't actually know where this is coming from. Hello, Cyber App. Welcome to the stream and thanks for the follow. Is there... test coverage reporting. I mean, I'm kind of looking for like an example essentially, right? Well, maybe tutorial would be good. Yeah, no, okay, that's not. I was just there. How to test JavaScript with Mocha? Sure. Okay, so we do have that. Test. Sure. Okay, so I mean, here they just use assert instead of expect. Built-in assert hence require. Okay. Okay, so there's like different assertions, sure. Okay, but where is this coming from? So Mocha.js expect. Will that find something? BTD style shown through these talks. Expect.js. Expect.js. Is it just that I'm importing the wrong named thing? Maybe that's it. Function. I cannot find module wait, what? Okay, it's not here. What the heck was the there was yeah, the weird thing, I don't quite get why doing this wouldn't import it, because previously this did. Expect. Right. Expect this package. No. Yeah. Let's try what the author is saying. Oh, because this is not the dev dependency, this is so it goes here. Okay, sure. Ugh. Will you run now? Oh, okay, cool. Stuff is actually happening. Okay. Yeah, okay, this is a little bit weird, but I kind of like it. Like, it's good to have readable tests, so this is sure. Right. So I mean, I can literally do expect to be 7, right? And that should work. Yep. Okay, cool. So we have testing. Cool. Right. Sure. So we have testing. Now, I'm still not quite sure about this part. I mean, so if I just do Control F5, I have it set up in a way that it actually runs it. And right now it fails because although this is quite interesting because it says cannot read property name tag of undefined. Huh. Yeah, no, so the problem is the keeper is undefined here. So lion dot keeper is it just that this isn't initialized? Basically like this. Name tag of undefined. Yeah, I have to admit I'm a bit puzzled about what exactly is happening here. So I mean, I can do start debugging. I mean, I don't think it. Wait, what? What just happened? Yeah, these breakpoints didn't trigger at all. Is it that I screwed up my launch with this nonsense over here? Maybe. Ah. Right. Because I moved stuff around. Okay, now it's debugging. Okay, cool. So I guess what I'm really interested in seeing is what's actually happening here. So we have, okay, let's definitely step into okay, so this is lion, it's type animal, sure. Zookeeper. So this thing damn it, I don't quite know. Okay, let's do it this way. So I can actually debug it. I need to create extra variables. And sure, we can do console.log just to kind of look at it. Sure, let's stop this. And yeah, I kind of want to debug on those lines. Let's start this again. So I should have L. So L dot keeper well, now it works. What the heck? Wait, if I just do it inline, was it just some nonsense that was just like left over that it didn't actually compile the correct TypeScript? Okay, now it seems to work. What the hell? But now the has mask is not really working out. So, okay, there is something wrong here. Okay. And I think it has to do with the constructors, right? So the problem, so if I'm over here, right? Now, oh, okay, this doesn't, sure, go ahead. Let's just remove this. So b.keeper is undefined. Okay. And that's because in B, I don't do new zookeeper. Well, actually not zookeeper, a beekeeper, right? Right. So if I do that and restart now, and step over here, yes, so now I actually, it's not undefined anymore and I have a beekeeper. Okay. Okay, so this makes actually perfect sense. Cool. And it doesn't have a mask. Yep, all of this is suddenly perfectly reasonable. Cool. So that was a slight detraction. So sure, let's. This works. It's okay. So that works. My tests work, right? Like if I do npm run test, yep, that works. Okay. So I can run a single file just by pressing F5. I mean, F5 is debug, Control F5 is the run without debug. And then I can just run all the tests. Okay, so I guess that's good enough for the setup. Let's just write this down. And I guess, yeah, so this is like to actually run it, I basically just need to compile it and then run the output, which happens for me, because in this script somewhere, out files, right, okay, this actually might run, I wonder. Okay, so if I do a new file, abc.ts, right, and if I just do console.log, I'm here. So now if I do Control F5, what the heck happens? Interestingly enough, it's still only running. So where is that coming from? Oh, because program. Oh, okay, sure. So here it says that the hello is basically my main. Sure. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so I guess that means it's time to do something fancy. The question is, what the heck do I do as like a test project? It should preferably be something that's like reasonably light, doesn't have too many like weird dependencies and whatnot. I mean, I could stick to my usual stuff and just do a Sudoku solver. I mean, the basic one is pretty easy to code, so it's not really a big deal. But the problem is it's like, it's maybe a little bit too simple to kind of test how to code in this. Oh, actually, there were more things that I wanted to look up. Okay, so this I have actually figured out. Now, okay, let's just put the to-do up here. Okay, but the one thing I definitely wanted to have a look at is at like the async JavaScript. So there's like callbacks, there's futures, and there was one more thing. So okay, actually, so this is related to my other project. let's go back to that. So this was where the heck do I have that? Oh, cool. So this actually exposes these scripts. Okay, cool. That's quite useful. But where do I have the other project? I have to admit that I'm actually not sure whether it went. But anyway, like I can always look it up. So let's do, what was it? YouTube live stream chat API. So, right, and they had examples over here. C code samples. Right, so this is using futures, right? Like if you have a .then. Okay. Yeah, there's like a success and error function. Okay. But there was also so there was definitely the real question is, where the heck do I have that? There was definitely a different way to do this as well. Did I actually? I don't think I actually uploaded the code. Maybe I did. Let me just double check that. No, 22 days ago. That's way too old. Damn it. Do I have it in my WSL instance? Maybe. Okay, here it is. Right. Okay, this is ridiculously big. Let's just properties. Let's do like 12. And okay, now this is reset. It's done. What? Okay, let's try again. Okay, better. No, okay, so I still have it through the promises and futures. Yeah, but there's these await things. Where is that coming from? Okay, Javascript await. Ah, so this is just waiting on a promise. Okay, sure. Right. So okay, I think this is yeah, that's a bit of a jump. I mean, I could just start working on that, but I kind of feel that I should work on some small thing first. But somehow today, like, my brain is not really offering any ideas, which is kind of bad. So damn it, what would be like an interesting thing to do? Okay, let's do the free missionaries, free cannibals problem. Okay, so if you don't know this one, it's a variant on the wolf, goat and cabbage problem. Okay, let's just do a block comment here, because otherwise this will get very awkward very fast. Right, so we start on one side of the river. There is one boat with two places. The boat needs a driver, so it cannot go alone across the river. With boat with capacity of 2. We have 3 missionaries and 3 cannibals, and the goal is to transport everyone to the other side. Of course, the kink in that is that if ever there are more cannibals than missionaries on either side, then the cannibals eat the missionaries. So, and the kind of getting on off the boat just happens automatically. So you cannot like do like smart switching where they basically exchange places. Okay, so this will be a bit of representation of states and bit of like algorithmic stuff. Okay, so we will have class state. So the state is basically all we need to represent the state is just to know what's the state on one side of the river, because by reflection, you know, from that we can infer the state on the other side, right? So the state can be like let's just refer to this like state as the state on the originating puzzle, represented by the originating what do you call it, the side of a river, the bank, river bank, I guess that's the correct word, maybe. So first of all, has both boolean, then, and we start with this being initialized to true. Missionaries, we start with 3 of them, and cannibals, we start again with 3 of them. Right, then I want to have a transport method which will just take the okay, now the question is how do I actually do this? So, okay. There are several things happening here, right? Like, first of all, if I'm in a particle state, the meaning of transport changes, right? So if I'm in a state where has both is true, then I'm transporting from the originating riverbank. So the missionaries and cannibals go to 0, right? Because I'm decreasing those numbers because I'm transporting them to the other side. But if has both is false, then I'm transporting from the target riverbank and missionaries and cannibals go to 3, right? And basically my goal state is false 0 0, right? Now there are bad states where cannibals is higher than missionaries, or 3 minus cannibals is higher than 3 minus missionaries. And okay, is higher than missionaries, and missionaries is greater than 0, because otherwise there is no one to eat, obviously. Or the second branch is kind of the same idea. So and 3 minus missionaries is not 0. Okay. So I can do this in two ways, right? Like, I can either just have bad states, but I also kind of need to figure out that I'm in my go state somehow. I could technically do that like inside of the search. Okay, so I guess what it would be I actually kind of want to have an enum, I guess. So state type, right? So I could have go state, I could have bad state and good state. I guess this should be in the exact inverse order for it to make sense. So a good state is just like in this state nothing bad happens, like the system is in an equilibrium. Bad state is I've reached one of the bad states and the solution to this puzzle is not going through this state. And the go state is I'm in the go state, so this basically means I should print out the path to there or something. Okay, so then I guess it makes kind of sense. I guess this will all be private. So sure, then let's have a transport that takes the number of missionaries and the number of cannibals and returns the state type, right? And this is a mutating method that will change the state of this thing. I guess num missionaries and num cannibals. What are you? Okay, because we are not doing anything right now. Sure. So okay, so first of all, let's. Okay, I guess. So there's another thing here, right? So I can either make. There's like this another category of states that are like impossible, right? Like let's say I ask to transport 2 missionaries and there are no missionaries to be transported, then, you know, obviously there's something broken. So there are 2 ways to do this. I can either just have an invalid state, which kind of moves all the like checking logic if the actual transition is correct into basically this function, the transport, right? Or I can basically have this function just like, I don't know, throw or do something drastic like they just like, you know, give up if it gets like a bad input essentially. The negative side of that is that then kind of the checking is in 2 places. Like I have to check if this makes sense both in this function by just, you know, then like throwing an exception or doing something, but then whatever is actually calling this transport function, like the actual search algorithm that will try to figure out the path to the end, that one also kind of needs to do those checks because yeah, or I mean I can just do like the catch throw JavaScript, right? Let's see. So if I make it I can basically wrap all the yeah, maybe this would be like the most JavaScript thing to do. So okay, so if like have all the checking here, but if the transition is invalid, then just throw, and the calling code can just catch. One thing is I'm not quite sure like how performant the try and catch is in JavaScript. Try catch JavaScript versus return. Okay, they're not really talking about that. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, it's more like this. Like having special return values, like error codes essentially. It's more like a C thing, but I don't quite know what's the preferred way of doing things in JavaScript. Okay, yeah, let's try to go with this. I wouldn't do this in C++, but I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I will need to ask some people about like the stylistic aspects of JavaScript. Okay, so first of all, let's do the checkings, right? Like, so if has both and so if I have a boat, then the numbers are going down. So then if num missionaries is larger than missionaries, then I have a problem. Or if num cannibals is higher than cannibals, then I also have a problem. And in that case, I just throw. Wait a second. So this dot have both, right? Throw. Okay. And actually, I haven't. Is there anything TypeScript exceptions? Exception handling. Syntax error, type error. Okay. So I actually should be returning a special type. So we even have stuff like this. Okay. I totally forgot. Okay, so sure. No throwing. Let's just have invalid state. Sure. So return invalid state. Alright. State type dot invalid state. Right. So trying to transport things we cannot transport, just return. If the boat is on the other side, we kind of do similar checks, except now the num missionaries need to be bigger than 3 minus this dot missionaries, or the cannibals in the same idea. Cannibals, right? Return state type invalid state. Okay. So for these two states, this is the I mean, for these two cases, when we are trying to transport more people than we just return an invalid state. If this is a valid state, then right, let's actually make the change. So this would be has both can you do stuff like this? Probably not. Okay, so we always invert the boat, then okay, we have changed the code a bit, so I need to update this command. Check for invalid states. No, that's not a very useful command. Okay. So if we have a boat, then So if the boat is on the starting side, we are decreasing the numbers. Oh, and first of all, if plus missionaries is bigger than 2, or cannibals plus missionaries is okay, so let's do it like this because this is a better check. So if you are not transporting anyone, that's a bad thing because the boat needs a driver and we cannot transport more than 2 people overall. So state type invalid state, right? So this is also an invalid state for sure. So if we don't have the boat, then this is all just inverted. Right. We invert the boat, and now I actually need to check for the state. So if not has boat and 0 and is also 0, then we are in the final state. Return state, oh come on, state type dot go state. If well, by default we will just return good state, so state type dot good state. And now let's just check for the bad states. So the bad states are irrespective of where the boat is. If is not, so if we have missionaries on the starting bank and there's less of them than the cannibals, then this is a bad state. So return state type dot bad state. If this dot missionaries, so if on the other bank, which is 3 minus the missionaries, there are any missionaries, and it's less than cannibals, then return state type bad state. Okay, so we check for the invalid states, we do the mutation of the state, and then we check if it's the goal state, if it's a bad state or a good state. Right, so that's the transport method. Now, the thing for the actual search, so we start let state, hey, welcome. You mean learning JavaScript should be easy for me? I don't know. It's a dynamic language. Dynamic languages are weird. But yeah, I mean, I'm using TypeScript, and it's actually very, like, it feels very familiar. Let's just put it that way. Like, there isn't like anything super crazy going on, which is nice. So, okay, I suspect if I do it this way, this will have an issue. Because I think this is, yeah, state is used before being assigned. Yeah, so this is just saying that this is it's a declaration essentially. It's not, I basically need to do something like this to actually create the object, right? State dot, yep, okay, so this now seems to be fine. Yeah, let's just have it like this. So let's just double check if everything is fine. Everything seems fine. Cool. So now we need the actual search, and I'm realizing I will also need something to actually print out the state of this thing. And I'm wondering if there is some sort of convention for that. Debug string convention or something like that. Yeah, not. Yeah, not quite sure what the convention would be here. I mean, let's just call it print. And I'm sure there's like, or actually does the console, custom, what is it? It's called like pretty printer, right? Pretty print JSON using JavaScript. It's JSON. How to print? String if no. I mean, I would expect that there is like an interface that the console.log is expecting. Pretty printing interface. No, that's not really what I'm looking for. Damn it. Outpost messages. String representations of which objects are appended together. Okay. So I guess what I want is a custom string representation of my object. So JavaScript custom string representation, I guess. Oh, so toString. Sure. Okay, I mean, let's see. So toString. Let's just try it. So let's just do hello world over here. And then I guess when I print the state, it should print out hello world. Should. No. Okay. Okay, let's. I think this is a TypeScript problem now. So TypeScript to string. Okay, I don't really want the number to string. Override to string. Override to string works as expected. Okay. Okay, so I guess this really, I mean, this works, but you need to concatenate it with the string, which, yeah, so now it works. That's a bit awkward. I mean, this output isn't the worst. But I mean, we kind of want something graphical, right? Like, basically, can be something like, yeah. Kind of something like this would be a state, or for example, this could be a state. I probably don't want the underscores, just like realizing. Yeah. Okay, let's try to do this then. So for this I kind of need like a better string formatting. And I guess I could actually, because this is JavaScript, I could actually do some fancy, like, what is it called? Yeah, damn it. what's the word I'm looking for? Not Unicode. Emojis, right? Of course. Yeah, we can have the skull and bone, and what would I use? Sure. Okay, that's a bit awkward because these end up being very different. I mean, okay, sure. It kind of works. So how the heck do I do this? I need like water or something. Sure. Yeah, okay. I will, if like everything ends up being graphical, then I will actually look for something slightly different. I mean, there's even like a this kind of thing. Yeah, maybe. So this is one option. But I think this would kind of make more sense. Okay. Yeah, probably not really. Bone. So there's this thing. Okay, let's see if this one is actually visual. Okay, cool. This bone is okay. Sure. So const b will be the boat. Cool. We have a bunch of visual stuff to play with. Right. So then. Okay, now I need to build up the state. So for oh, does JavaScript have like range loops? JavaScript loop and times. Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, I'm not super thrilled about implementing this myself. Okay, we can do it with an array. Well, that's also not amazing. Hello, thanks for the follow. and welcome to the stream. Yeah, I think I would just use like a normal for loop here. So, okay, which bank do I make? Which bank? Let's go from left to right, I guess. So let's make the starting bank the left one. Okay, how do I do this? Right. This dot missionaries. So let's append missionary this many times. Now, okay. Now the tricky part is actually that I want this to be padded. So, well, okay, this will be, I'm really not happy with this code because this will be very awkward. Okay, so let's just go to 3 minus missionaries and let's just add a space. So this is that. Then we kind of want the exact same code. Actually, what I think I should do is bank state string, and let's just have this take 2 numbers, and actually let's make it static. And let's move this code to there. Oh, come on. Just copied it and immediately managed to discard it. Okay. Yeah, there's a typo there. And how did I spell? Yeah, okay, that's fine. So I want these 2 things over here, and yeah, well, it's just the same exact thing for the cannibals, right? Okay. Missionaries, cannibals, right. So then what I want over here is s plus equals bank state string. No. Right. State.bank state string and dictionaries. Oh, come on. Right, like this. Then there will be the water, and then on the other hand, I will have state.bank state string. This dot. Right. Let's just copy this over, and let's just do 3 minus these two. So as the state on the other bank, and then I just return s. So this should already do something if I do this. Let's just double check that it's actually happening. Not quite. Oh yes, because I'm adding the wrong thing. Right. And actually, let's just add in space over here. That should be good. Okay, perfect. So then I guess I want the same thing for the water. Water state string, and I guess this will be just, you know, boat boolean, because this is very simple. So let s be an empty string, and then we return s at the end. And now just the only thing is where exactly I put the boat. So if boat, the else like this. So if I have the boat, then I start with the boat. Otherwise I start with the water. Then I just, in the middle, I just add like water, I don't know, 3 times, and then on the other side the exact same logic but inverted, right? So if not boat, then I add the boat, otherwise I just add water. So then over here let's just do state dot water state string and this dot boat. And that should be actually it. So let's see. Okay, I definitely need a space between these. And I'm kind of feeling okay, let's, is there like no grass or something? No, no, that's not okay. Maybe a tree or something. Oh yeah, there are trees. Okay, so what would be a good icon to put there? I kind of want something to actually represent like the absence of things. Okay, so this actually wouldn't be a horrible thing to use as the delimiter over here. Okay, how exactly does that look? ish. And okay, for the absence of things, just use a tree. So over here, not there, over here. Yeah, so if you are not inserting a person, I just put a tree there. I'm not quite sure how that will look, but let's see. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of okay to me. So, okay, I guess we will see how it looks once we start printing stuff. So now we need the actual search. So I have the output, I have everything, so now I need the actual search. So how do we search through this? So, well, we can basically do depth first search. So I will need an array of the states, and the algorithm will be pretty straightforward. So if we basically from every state try every possible transition, if the transition is valid, just follow through, right? So it's very basic depth first search. So let's just write it, right? So it will be a function DFS. It will get a state on its input, and then, as I said, like, we want to try all the transitions. So all the transitions are one missionary goes over, one cannibal goes over, missionary and a cannibal go over, two missionaries or two cannibals. So these are all the transitions, and we have the function to actually do it, which is this one. So this will be state.transport. So the options are 1, 0. I will just write down these options. So 1, 0, 2, 0. So this is either 1 or 2 missionaries. 0, 1, and 0, 2. This is 1 or 2 cannibals. And then we have the 1, 1 case. So these are all the possible transitions. Now, the tricky part I need to actually figure out is how exactly do, like, references and values work in JavaScript. Passing by value. Okay. So pass by value or pass by reference. So everything is passed by value, which is good. Okay. Now, the tricky part is the way I wrote it here. This is a mutating method. So this method actually changes the state of the state. So I kind of damn it, how do I want to do this? Now the good thing is that this is a copy, so I can basically pass in. I can do something like this, which, well, that almost works. So do I actually want to? Yeah, I actually kind of want to change this method. I almost want this method to be returning state, but that's pretty awkward. So okay, if I pass is by value, which is good. Now the question is, if I make a variable, so if I do let s be state, and then here I do s transport to 0, is this a copy? And I can actually check that very easily. So I would say I would expect this to be a copy, but again, my knowledge of JavaScript is extremely limited at this point still. Right, so let's print out the state and let's print out s. And if there are two different things, then it's a copy. Okay. This can stay here, but what I want to do is dfs state, right? So let's see what happens. No, it is a reference, not a copy, because both of these got modified. Okay. So JavaScript copy object. That's not exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah. It's pointing to the same object and it's a reference to that object. Yes, indeed, exactly. Knife way of copying, shallow copying. Oh jeez. I think the object assign should actually work for me, but it's okay, so yeah, sure. Let's just use the object copied, object assign. I mean, so object assign state, and now I should get a copy. transport is not a function. Whew. Yes, there was something about copying the methods. Yeah, this is not really. Right, okay, I can do new state, constructor, right, I can actually write this inside of the constructor, indeed. Okay, let's do it. So constructor, I hope this will work. Yep, it actually does work. Perfect. So now since I have this constructor, what I can do down here is just do a new state dot shoot. Can I have like a proper copy constructor, like a C++ style thing? So let's just do state multiple constructing implementations are not allowed. Okay. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. So the problem is then these needs to be public, which is extremely annoying. But I honestly don't know how else to make this work. Like the problematic part here is that like each call of this function will make a copy of the parameter that's passed in, which is good. But the problem is I also need to mutate it inside of here. What I could do Yeah, I think this is kind of the only way to make it work, unfortunately. So okay, I create a new state, and then basically what I do, oops. Okay, but I didn't test it yet. Okay, so let's see if this works. Yeah, so now the states are correct, although a bit misaligned. Which is kind of annoying. I would hope these to be kind of rendered better. But it has to do more with the terminal than anything. Right. Or I could just pick. Okay, let's try to pick this tree. Maybe it's a wider tree. Oh yeah, it is a little bit wider. So let's see if that works better. Slightly. Okay, like it will be wobbling a little bit, which is but I can live with that. Okay, cool. So again, I create a new state. I do s.transport, and now. Okay, this is the interesting part. So case state type dot bed state all right. So if it's a bad state, then I'm actually not doing anything. If it's good state, then I want to do DFS on the state. If it is a state type call state, so this will be print everything. Okay. But I'm not doing that yet because I'm still missing stuff. Right. And now I basically want to do this thing for all the combinations. And I guess this one, if yeah, this I need a check if visited over here. Okay. So can I kind of yeah. Okay, I can actually hide this. Let's do it. State, and then missionaries number candles number. Yeah, I can basically hide this logic by just putting it into a function. Then I actually don't need the new state thing, and I can just do state.transport non-missionaries non-mechanicals state, and right, so all I do over here is just call this try state multiple times. So try state 10 try state 20 01 02 and 11. Okay, perfect. Now I need more things, right? So the thing is, I need to remember all the states I have already visited. I need that for two reasons. I don't want to end up looping, and second of all, when I find the goal state, I actually want to print out the path how I got there. So for that, I will need an array of states. Okay. Is there already JavaScript data structures? Is there already a stack? No, they just use array. Sure. I mean, that kind of works. So let stack be state array. Now the question is, do I need to call new array on this before I can do a push? Easy to check. So stack.push state. Now if this will work, it's used before being assigned, right? Okay. So okay, let's just do what's actually the proper way to use it in TypeScript? So TypeScript array right. I guess what I want is this thing. So let's stack equals new array of state. Push state, right? So I start with a single state. Then if I have a good state, I do stack dot push state. If I'm over here, I do stack dot pop, because yes, because then I'm leaving this state that was pushed onto the top out of the situation. And now if I'm over here, okay, I also want to do stack dot, is there like, yeah, there is a find, stack dot find state. Okay, now the thing is, it's not assignable to parameter. Okay, geez. This void value state index or the predicate is true and undefined otherwise. Right. So I guess what I want is return s dot can equals equals wait, what was it again? It's the value, the index. Right, okay. So I should have access to this dot state. No? State. Do I have access to state? I should have access to state. Right. And s dot missionaries is state dot missionaries, right? Okay, it's a bit verbose, but yeah. And I guess I don't really need to extract this out. So if right, okay, but what actually happens if this doesn't undefined otherwise? So okay, so if stack find is not undefined, I guess if it is undefined, then I want to do the push and DFS, otherwise I don't want to do anything. And if we are in a goal state, then I want to go for stack dot length oh, so this is just a property? Sure. Stack I dot to string and yeah, I think I also need to log the final state. Okay, I think so. I push whenever I call DFS, I pop whenever I exit DFS. This should be good, I think. Maybe not. Okay. So let's start debugging, I guess. Yep. Let's just put breakpoints over here and let's see. Okay, so what the heck? Okay, let's try again. So what I want to see is, yeah, okay, so this is never hitting the good state at all. which is actually pretty weird. So return good state. Okay, let's look at this function then. If we never hit the good state, that's strange. Okay, step over this one. So I mean, okay, so this one is this one will be a bad state because we have a missionary going to the other side, which leaves them in a bad situation. Okay, let's do it the other way around. So let's turn these off. The first debug print I actually want over here. Breakpoint, I mean. Right, so let's step into sure, so this should all be okay. Wait, what? If not has both, wait, I should have a boat. What the heck is happening? Why is boat false? Yeah, there's something wrong here. This is not getting passed by value. I don't think. So I guess I have a strong suspicion that the article that I just read was misleading. Yeah, so if I just do console.log of state after each of these, it should really just print out the same thing. And yep, let's just do it. So yeah, no, the state is modified already. That's wrong. So this is not passed by value. This is actually passed by reference. Which is fine. I just need to do but why did it say that it's passed by? Okay, so confusing. JavaScript passed by reference. What the hell? Okay, so primitives are passed by value, objects are passed by... I don't exactly know what the copy of a reference is. But yes. Okay. So indeed, for objects, new state has both state.missionaries state.cannibals. Right. And then I just work on top of the local state. Okay. Now, I think over here I need to do the same thing, because otherwise I would be overriding yeah, I'm actually not 100% sure if I need to do this. Okay, let's get rid of these breakpoints. Yeah, okay, no more breakpoints, cool. Okay, so now stuff is actually happening. Okay. So one thing I should definitely do is once I actually print it, I need to do console.log, some sort of divider. And let's just do something simple, just like a row of emojis. Some sort of shape thing. Sure. Okay, let's try it again. Shoot, right. This is all completely wrong like this. Okay. And actually, after I print it out, no, that's correct. I don't want to actually clean up the stack. Yep, okay, there are some issues. Okay, so toString, right? So there's definitely something still broken. So let's have a look at this. So okay, this shouldn't have happened. Okay, let's just be absolutely brutal about this. So push this new state. To make sure that I'm not like sharing a state somewhere. So push the new state. Okay, this one should be, the initial state should be fine. Yeah, no, this is still completely broken somehow. I think my find is not working properly. Yeah, because we shouldn't be able to go like from this state back to this state, because this state is already in the stack. Array dot find JavaScript. Hello, welcome to the stream and thanks for the follow. Find element greater than 10. I mean, this is okay. I think I really need to debug this because this is a really strange situation. Hey, so I'm actually learning JavaScript and trying to write like a simple program that solves the free cannibals and free missionaries problem. But I'm kind of running into the expected things around JavaScript passes objects by reference and so on. And how the heck do I find things in an array and so on. So, you know, very, very basic stuff right now. I kind of fixed the passing by reference by just creating like local variables that are just clones of the thing. But somehow this find I don't think is working properly. And very much could just be that I'm misunderstanding how it actually works. Right, so let's just do stack 0 and yeah, stack 1 is undefined, sure. And the state I have here, which is local state, is 2, 3, sure, that's okay. So this one is fine. So that's, now I'm looking at stack 2, right. So now here I have these two states. Okay, so this one, this should actually find it. So yeah, I think so. This should return true. Wait, what? Okay, I see my mistake already. It was very silly, right? I'm kind of missing the breaks in the switch. Nothing really to do with the pass by reference or pass by value or the find. Okay, this looks much better now. Cool. Okay. So what's happening here? So we transport 2 cannibals, then 1 cannibal goes back, then 2 cannibals again. So we have all the cannibals on the one side. Then one of them goes back, 2 missionaries go to the other side, then missionary and cannibal go here, then 2 missionaries go there. Yeah, okay. This looks correct. And these are like the other variants on the same approach. Cool. So yeah, definitely issues with the pass by reference over here. Yeah, thanks for the support. It's just an easy thing, but I kind of want to try a couple of small projects just to kind of get used to the like weird parts of the language, because like honestly like syntax wise and everything, like TypeScript is honestly very comfortable to me coming from C++. But there's like this stuff that like, okay, like if you pass a number or a string, that's by value, but if you pass an object, that's by reference. So it's like these kind of like slightly weirder things. Yeah. And yeah, okay, that's like the weirder parts of TypeScript, like the structural typing and stuff. But I mean, I did work with other languages that kind of are in that vein. Like Go is slightly like that with its interfaces, but it definitely doesn't take it that far, but yeah. Okay, so one thing I still don't quite like is that is there a way that I wouldn't have to do something like this over here, so that I could just do like s equals local state? Now the problem is I very much expect that this would just compare, I guess, the references or something. I don't think JavaScript has like operator overloading at all, right? Yeah. So I mean, I could do like a compare function, or I mean method, right? I could do so is there like a specific interface for that or something? So I mean, okay, right, like I do have damn it, I basically passed the comparison right here, right? Like this, not really the comparison, but the predicate, right? But what I'm wondering is, usually in these dynamically typed languages, there's like a specific interface that you can provide on your object or your class that the the array.find will actually look for, and if it's there, it will use it to compare. So I'm wondering if there is something like that in JavaScript. Oops, what did I press? Because that's kind of how, yeah, that's kind of how I would expect these like object interface based languages to kind of work, where you basically, you know, like if you're writing like a generic thing, I mean, in TypeScript you can actually kind of do it very directly, like it was, I was just looking at it a while ago. It was here in the generics. Generic types. Generic classes. Constraints. Right. So basically, you could do something like this, you know. Let's just copy this over. And let's just create a new file very quickly, just to demonstrate what I'm kind of talking about. So this thing is basically looking for the argument to have a length, right? Like, so then you could have like a function, so, well, in my case find, right? That takes the t, which extends I don't know, comparable or something, arc t, or I guess find it on an array, and then the interface comparable would be something like, I don't know, compare. Okay, this gets a little bit tricky because this also needs to refer to t. I guess something like this. Oops. Yeah, okay, this is completely nonsense right now, but kind of the idea is, okay, like you have, you know, the generic function kind of expects an interface, and if the interface is there, it just uses it, or you then have the second function that actually doesn't need the comparable interface on the object. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, I'm also not super fond of, so basically this all ties together, right? Like if I had a way to just do, well, I can still hide it in a, like a compare function, which would be like s.compare local state, right? I can definitely do that. Now, yeah, I guess I should just do this. This is slightly better. Okay, so now it's at least a little bit hidden. But I actually don't think I can. Yeah, there's like this is the part I really don't like. I don't know if there is a better way to do this. So to kind of create a copy of the object, so I kind of have pass by value ish, right? Like I still pass by reference. I don't know if I will be around in an hour, but I stream every weekend, so you know, drop in next weekend. Yeah, I looked at clone, but the problem is thanks for the follow, Hell to Hot. So, where the heck was it? There's like the object something. Damn it! I had an article opened recently that I was just looking at. Whatever. Like the problem is that there are issues. Let's just put it that way. Copying objects. Yeah. Okay. So this was actually the thing I was looking at. So you can do object assign, right? I mean, okay, I could write my own clone method. I don't know. Okay, let's just try to do this. State, what is complaining about? Oh, because I'm not returning anything yet. Sure. Return new state. This dot has both. This dot missionaries. This dot cannibals. Sure. And then I guess over here I don't have to do the new state thing. I can just do state.clone. Now I have absolutely no idea if this is like anywhere close to what people should do, like style wise, and I would actually be interested to know, but I can't really think of a better way to do it. And the thing is, now that I did this, I can actually hide the these again. I can actually make these private, I think. So if I make these three private, okay, let's see. Is everything okay? Everything should be okay. Yep. So okay, so this is slightly better. I have a compare method, I have a clone method. Yeah. One thing I'm still not sure about is why do I need to do the clone? Maybe I actually don't. Okay, let me see if here, instead of the clone, I actually take a reference. Because this local state should be local for this one transition. And if that transition was correct, yeah, then this should be good enough. And it looks like it is. Okay, cool. So now I guess maybe the last thing to do is kind of, can I wrap this up a bit in something slightly neater? Okay. there isn't really much improvement that I can really think of. Wait a second, what is this? Stray public just like out of nowhere. Yeah, okay. I do think I should just wrap it up a bit. So first of all, well, considering that the objects are actually passed by reference, I don't really need the global variables at all. Because I can then just pass them around, right? So where exactly do I need the stack? I need it in the tri-state and in the DFS, sure. So let's just do the stack array state over here. And yep, and the same thing here, stack array, oops, state. What is happening here? No, I need to actually pass the stack, sure, makes sense. And yeah, the same thing is here. Okay. Okay, and then stack state. Okay, but this, yeah, down here actually do need the stack. So let stack be a new array of state with nothing in it. And this thing is the same idea over here. Oh, I put it here, right? Okay, cool. So now this is actually pretty self-contained. So I can actually make this into a function. Solve missionary problem. Blah, 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 like this, and then I can just call it down here. So actually, the reason why I wanted to do this is because I actually want to move this into a different file. Okay. Now, okay, so now actually I'm not 100% sure what happens if this actually works, even though I have it in a different file. It's not defined. Okay, so okay, so I guess that's a good thing to look into. How the heck do you actually make like a package? Typescript package. No, that's probably not what I want to do. So import function Javascript. Import. Okay. Okay, so I just say export before this thing. and import solve mission problem from missionaries.js. I guess it should be JS. Okay, so this actually gets back to TypeScript. So if I have TypeScript imports, export, import from string valid. Oh, so you don't specify the just like that. Exporting statements. Okay, so I think this should work. And it did. Okay. Cool. And I kind of feel that I'm satisfied for today with my progress. One thing I definitely want to do offline is kind of ask people that I know that work with JavaScript, like, what do they think about this piece of code? Because I really have no idea if I'm, you know, doing anything correctly or not. But yeah, I mean, this all seems to work. It's there was a lot of weirdness that I ran into with the pass-by reference and whatnot, but seems to be reasonably resolved now. Cool. Okay. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will definitely be back with something next week. So if you're watching for the first time, I stream every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, starting at 2:30 p.m. Central European Time. But the topics do change week to week. Right now I'm learning JavaScript. The kind of reason why I even started learning JavaScript is to actually, you know, be able to write JavaScript in one of my projects. So once I'm kind of comfortable with this entire thing, I actually want to go back to that project. And there's definitely also a lot of C++ that I do. I have a Sudoku solver that's, you know, still has a lot of work to happen on it. And I'm definitely planning more stuff in the future as well. So, you know, stay tuned. There will be crazy stuff coming your way for sure. Okay, so thanks again and see you next time.